Away from that, the Fix the Country campaigners have described as unlawful a case brought against them by the Attorney General at an Accra High Court, seeking to restrain them from embarking on a street protest. The campaigners say only a police officer can make a request under the Public Order Act to restrain protesters from hitting the streets and want the Attorney General to stay off the case. The campaigners have been mobilizing support to demand better living conditions, but have so far been frustrated in their efforts to take this onto the streets. Court correspondent Joseph Akable reports.
A member of the legal team for the campaigners, Julius Asinyo, urged the court to dismiss the case. He explained that it cannot hear a matter bordering on the Public Order Act filed in the name of the Republic instead of a police officer. He also raised a second objection regarding the signatory to the court documents. He stated that they are signed by one Thomas Safu, who does not indicate whether he is an attorney at the office of the AG or with the police service. He concluded by stating that the current case is of a civil nature and the Attorney General's office has not been named as a defendant. Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Dame described the application as completely misconceived and a misunderstanding of the fundamental laws regarding this application. He explained that every step within the context of the Public Order Act is a criminal matter. He continued that under Article 88 of the Constitution, the Attorney General is responsible for the initiation of all civil and criminal matters involving the Republic. He further rebutted a claim that the police service is a separate legal entity. He responded that it's a pure public institution and its office is empowered by law to act on its behalf. Justice Ruby Aite adjourned the matter to June 25 to deliver her ruling. The AG then notified the court of a Facebook post by one Bakavooks calling him a puppet. He indicated that he may initiate appropriate contempt proceedings against such commentary should it continue. Justice Aite urged the AG to ignore such comments. Mr. Dame responded that such comments by persons who are part of the case is not appropriate. The said Facebook handle has since posted yet again, this time explaining that the Public Order Act does not entitle the AG to use the police as puppets. The conveners of the protest are meanwhile hopeful of a favorable court decision on Friday.
On Friday will be the ruling on the preliminary objections before they will have to make their cases. Okay. Now, until then, we don't know. But for us, we're hoping that our legal team have made a good objections, and then that will be taken in good faith by the judge, and then the ruling will be made in that regard.
I suffer as much as the normal Ghanaian suffers, and it's something that's been within my heart. It's sad. It's sad to see Ghanaians not being able to survive. People are living, but they're not able to survive, and it's something that we need to honestly speak about. When we talk about the lack of employment, when we talk about galamsey, these are things that are happening in the country that I live in, and people have turned a blind eye to it, and I refuse to turn a blind eye to it. I care about Ghanaians. I have family in Ghana. I mean, I could easily be living in New York and living my best life, but I chose to speak for people whose voices cannot be heard.
And so on June 25, should the court uphold the objections raised by the campaigners, it will terminate this particular application that they are restrained from pouring onto the street to protest. On the other hand, should the court dismiss it, it paves way for the substantive legal arguments on whether or not they can go ahead to stage a street protest in the midst of COVID-19 and the imposition of the Restrictions Act, which is still in force. Reporting for JoyNews from the Law Court Complex, my name is Joseph Akable.